Hello everyone, my name is Nyajug and I'm so excited to be a part of this video today. I currently live in DC and I'm a second year law student at Howard University School of Law. I'm so excited to be a part of this video, and thanks so much, Ronke, for inviting me and getting my face looking right. I love that she's been doing these inspirational videos featuring dark-skinned women because I think sometimes we get lost in the mix during the beauty and fashion conversation. So I really appreciate that she's been featuring dark-skinned Black women in her videos. I agreed to do the video mostly because I'm still really lost myself about finding and using makeup that looks good on my skin tone. Anytime I go to drugstores or, large makeup stores, the darkest shade is usually still too light for my skin tone, and it usually just ends up making me look crazy. So not being able to find my shade has really turned me off from makeup and even trying to do it, just because it's honestly kind of draining. So my everyday makeup usually just consists of like mascara, eyeshadow, lip gloss, stuff like that. Don't really wear makeup that much just because, when I do go to the drugstore or go to any, makeup stores or anything like that, there's never really any shade for me. And so when I do put makeup on, I really end up looking kind of like a clown. I don't know, just looking weird because it's almost like none of the stuff was made for me, so I just kind of stay away from it. Although, if I did go out and actually look for this stuff, it's going to be really, really expensive, and it's really just not going to be in my budget as a student. And I think that's kind of tough for a lot of people with my skin color, with my skin complexion, just because it's like, if you do want to invest in makeup and you do want to, put makeup on for when you go out and stuff like that, you're really going to have to spend a lot of money, and that's really not realistic for a lot of people. And it's almost just kind of like, it feels like that's not fair. And I've had my makeup done by makeup artists before, and that's kind of the same issue I've run into, just because, they're not used to doing makeup for someone who's my skin complexion. And so sometimes I'll look ghostly, or just some of the undertones aren't right, and it doesn't quite match my skin tone. A little bit about myself. My family is from South Sudan. We moved here in the early 90s because of the civil war that was going on. I was born in a refugee camp in Ethiopia. So we moved to the States when I was about 2 years old. When we came to the States, we moved around a lot. So growing up, I was always a new kid in school. And so when you move a lot and, being a new kid in school is always kind of tough. But being very dark-skinned kind of made that a little bit harder, just because kids always find a way to bully. But for me specifically, it was always based on my skin tone. I remember I got into a few fights in like elementary and middle school just because you can only take so much. And so, when kids would, call me burnt or charcoal or whatever, that really, had an effect on me growing up. I think, having dark skin in not just in the States, but, all over the globe, there's really the stigma of anything that is dark-skinned is ugly, and there's no beauty in that. And I think that's really affected a lot of people, not only, like I said, in the States, but I think globally. Even in Africa, in the Caribbean, places like that, you see a huge epidemic of people wanting to bleach their skin because they really feel like they need to do that in order to be perceived as beautiful. That's why I think it's so important for influencers like Ronke and others to do videos like this, because I think representation is one of those things that really, helps affirm that you are beautiful. Because even if you know it on the inside and, you tell yourself every day in the mirror that you are beautiful, when you go out into the world and all you see is light skin or white skin, and that's what is considered beautiful, then that kind of makes you question yourself. Growing up with dark skin and being bullied by kids really did have a huge effect on my self-esteem. And it really made it hard for me to even, really believe that I was beautiful. And I think that still kind of affects me a little bit to this day because, when people do call me beautiful, I get really awkward and I don't know how to accept compliments just because for so long I was the exact opposite of that. And trying to embrace my own skin and really, believing it when people do call me beautiful or pretty or anything like that. That's why I think I really appreciate this video series, using social media and other, online platforms to promote all kinds of beauty and not just kind of one vision of that, because I think we're realizing that the media isn't always going to promote what we think is important. Like, I really think, representation is really important, that when we as women of color can kind of come together and support each other and affirm each other, then, we don't have to worry about little girls growing up and questioning their own beauty. Like, I have a 2-year-old niece, and I really want her to grow up knowing that she's absolutely gorgeous and never has to question her own beauty on the inside. So I think for me now, as a 24-year-old woman, I'm really starting to love and embrace everything about myself, not just, with my skin tone, but also even, with my body and my ideals and values and views on life. I'm so excited to be a part of this video series with Ronke. I hope you all enjoy it. Have a nice week.